I'm so tired of people saying that, oh, you're taking Glenn Beck's taking Ron Paul down. Are you kidding me? Who is championing in the non-fringe media? Ron Paul more. Now, I would consider that we're on the edge of the fringe. You know what I mean? As the media portrays.
Yeah, the whole statement is a little bit more definitive. But because I wouldn't say you're championing Ron Paul.
When it comes to his economic policy, you tell me somebody. What? Judge Napolitano.
Yep.
What's his name? John Stossel.
Yeah, no,
that's about it. You name anybody else in an economic policy that is as strong against the Fed, who's done more against the Fed than I have besides those two? In a real recognizable position, I can't. You got to go immediately to Crazy Fed Watch.
.net.
Yeah. We were
used to have
it's .net.us.
Right.
I mean,
really bad idea.
It's ridiculous. Yeah,
really bad idea.
Really bad idea.
You should just get the .us.
Well, that's the point. It's a fringe. That's why it's a fringe. The problem is his foreign policy. And everybody, I'm so sick and tired of these libertarians saying, the founders would have said, really? We're going to use the founders' words tomorrow. Because I have news for you. I think the founders would take Ron Paul and punch him in the face.
Well, on certain issues.
On that issue.
They'd love him on other issues.
They would love him on everything that I love him on, maybe a little more. They would love him on many, many things. But they'd punch him in the face on security. By the way, what is his security policy? Pat, do you know this? What is his policy on the border?
He's pretty strong on the border, actually.
Is he?
He's big on sovereignty of the United States. And that's unlike most libertarians, by the way. He gets in fights with libertarians on that policy.
What?
Yeah.
How can Ron Paul supporters be so anti-Ron Paul? It's almost like you're using your brain and saying some things I don't agree with.
What's wrong with those neocons practicing their neoconism? Why are they neoconning all the time with Ron Paul and their neoconism? These neocons.
Now, Rick Perry goes on the opposite tact here, and he says he would send troops back into Iraq.
Yeah, he's. This was at the debate again over the weekend.
Well, I think that you have to. I would send troops back into Iraq because I will tell you. I think we start talking with the Iraqi individuals there. The idea that we allow the Iranians to come back into Iraq and take over that country with all of the treasure, both in blood and money, that we have spent in Iraq, because this president wants to kowtow to his liberal leftist base and move out those men and women. He could have renegotiated that time frame. I think it is a huge error for us. We're going to see Iran, in my opinion, move back in at literally the speed of light. They're going to move back in, and all of the work that we've done, every young man that has lost his life in that country will have been for nothing, because we've got a president that does not understand what's going on in that region.
Mr. Speaker,
Okay. Wow. I have to tell you, he's right and wrong. He's right that you're going to start to see things move at a rapid pace. That's why the president is now doing war games with Israel. Largest, most unprecedented war game we've ever done. We're sending tens of thousands of troops into Israel. They'll tell you that this has been on the docket for a couple of years, and I believe that it has been on the docket for a couple of years. We do these kinds of things. But this is an unprecedented level, and it is absolutely sending a message, just like Iran in the Straits of Hormuz is sending us a message now. It's sending them a message. I think this also sends a message on the inside to all of those from Occupy Wall Street and the left. I think this is absolutely sending a message to all those anti-Semites who say we should not be anywhere near Israel. It's going to put fuel on the fire this spring and summer. An unprecedented war game happening in Israel with the United States. I think it's... I think it's foolish. Now, what Rick Perry is talking about is sending troops back to Iran. What Rick Perry is Iraq. What Rick Perry is, well, he's talking about them because of Iran, and I mean he's seeing war on the horizon. I mean, if you're putting them in there so you don't lose Iraq, it means you're pushing back the Iranians.
I don't even know when the definition changed that. If a country was coming in when you had troops, when we have troops in Iraq, and Iran is sending in IEDs and people attacking our troops, when that didn't become a declaration of war, and when that didn't become an act of war. I don't know when that actually changed, but that's apparently at some point.
Because we're dealing with religious extremists. That's why. If it wasn't religious extremists, we would have taken care of it. But we're dealing with religious extremists, and so and politically correct masters. They have mastered the role of political correctness, and so anything we do is aggression to this religion, and it's an abomination to religion. The way they interpret Islam, and if that indeed is what they claim Islam is, then it should be wiped out. It's a disease. Right. Extremist Islam is absolutely a disease. It's a plague on the world that will kill us all in the end.
It's not Islam. It's extremist Islam. It's this crazy. I mean, you've seen it. You've talked about it at length on both GBTV and all the shows we've talked about before. Yep. When you get into this sort of this extreme version of it, where the end of it is what we talked about, the words of Osama bin Laden yesterday, where he said, "It's submit or die."
Submit or die.
I mean, that was essentially it.
That's a plague on the world, and it should be stated just that clearly. Anyway, he's talking about sending troops in, but what everybody is failing to see, and I will outline this for you tonight on GBTV. And it is truly frightening. Do you remember the audio? And Pat, see if you can find this, and we'll play it when we come back. Do you remember the audio where Barack Obama said, "I'm going to have the biggest, the greatest look at a military. It'll be a civilian defense force, just as powerful, just as well funded." Do you remember that audio? You have it?
Still
look for it. We were all wrong on this. We were wrong. I figured it out this weekend. And it's not that I figured it out. I'm paying attention. I'm watching. The discussions all last week with Leon Panetta were all wrong. We were claiming the wrong things. We were saying the wrong things. We were saying, hey, he's putting us in jeopardy. No, he's not. No, he's not. Not the way you think he is. Remember, Hillary Clinton at the State Department is the one who started the shadow government. We'll give this to you tonight at 5 o'clock. And by the way, the shadow government, the shadow party, that's the George Soros, and that's not just some slam. That's an actual party. That's the name of it. Started with George Soros and Hillary Clinton and Arianna Huffington.
According to who? I mean, what right wing? Oh.
Sorry. That's just their words, not mine. When I put this together for you, and I'll do it tonight at 5 o'clock, it'll boggle your mind. We'll do a little bit of it today and what we can without a chalkboard today on radio coming up.
We cannot continue to rely only on our military in order to achieve the national security objectives that we've set. We've got to have a civilian national security force that's just as powerful, just as strong, just as well funded.
Wow, did we misinterpret that? And they gave us what they were doing. They just haven't told us how they were going to do it. I will show it to you tonight. That is bone-chilling, and no conspiracies revolving around it. I was wrong before on what I said that I thought they were going to do with that. Oh, I was so foolish. They're doing it right now, and I'll show it to you.
GBTV. The truth lives here.